Hey everybody, my name is Rydo, and today we will be starting a new series for the game The Vanishing of Ethan Carter. Interesting thing has happened. In the time since I have gotten the game The Vanishing of Ethan Carter and gotten around to start recording it, the creator has remade the entire game in Unreal Engine 4. I hope it was 4. But this is the original in 3, so since the game is pretty short, we're gonna just play it once in its original, then we're gonna play the Redux version, which is free if you own the original. So we're gonna do an interesting comparison between what a game made in Unreal Engine 3 versus the new Unreal Engine 4, what gets improved, what doesn't get improved. One thing I'm hoping will get improved in the Redux version is it doesn't drag my CPU to its maximum CPU fan, because as soon as I get in this game it goes right skyrocketing. Uh, we have all the graphics in this are going to be turned up, so hopefully we don't run into any crashes or anything because of that. And I am going to do a little bit of an experiment here with the volume at 75% instead of 50%, so the volume may be too loud, hopefully not. Uh, it all kind of works differently. I will be playing this with a Xbox 360 plugged in controller. From what it looks like, there's only one interact button in this game. This is not super gameplay game, I don't believe. The one thing, however, that would be interesting, but I can't really do it, is the field of view. If we go to the field of view and we start knocking that up, yes, your field of view gets bigger, but by quite a lot. But that's not really a realistic perspective. It's not the default perspective. I wouldn't feel right playing the game at anything besides the default. Plus, it puts more things on the screens, which drags my video card down anymore. I'm sure if you look from the other perspective, nobody really wants me to do videos like this, where the field of view is zoomed in. So we'll just leave it on the 95 default. But it is an interesting fact that you can, in some games, zoom out. Usually you need some pretty powerful computer equipment to do that, and you probably shouldn't be uh, recording the video at the same time. Remember, or if you're new to it, recording basically requires twice as much video capacity because you have to record and play the game at the same time. Alright, so that's enough talking now. We're doing the Vanishing of Ethan Carter. We're going to try to shoot for 30-minute episodes, and then once we play this once, we will play the Redux right back to back and compare the graphics, compare the interface, compare how smooth the game is and how much it taxes my computer, which I can only generally speak to that. Let us begin the game, The Vanishing of Ethan Carter. Title screen, by the way. A couple more points before we start. Sorry to interrupt myself, but title screens, I hate when they do this. You have to have the name of your game on the title screen. Nowhere here does it say what is going on. I imagine we're going to hit start and be right in this meadow, and that is cool, but you need to, if you're going to have start new game there, you might as well have the Vanishing of Ethan Carter there at the beginning too, because people wandering onto this video aren't going to know what you're doing. And then I also want to mention, for the PC Steam version, it pops up a box for all the video settings, and then when you start it, it's in the options. So I guess it's okay to be redundant, but it's a little weird too, that you have a special configuration box pop up, then you get in the game and you have your custom options in the game. It's a little weird, but it's fine. Better you have 2 options than no options, by far. Anywho, let's begin The Vanishing of Ethan Carter. I know nothing about this story, I know nothing about this game. I don't know what we'll be doing, so it'll be a interesting journey for both of us. Loading screen. Alright, I'm on an SSD. This game is a narrative experience that does not hold your hand. Okay. Well, I'm in trouble then.
Ethan Carter, I didn't know. But he knew who I was. When the police won't help you and the priests don't believe you, you call on Paul Prospero. You call on me. If you're a kid like Ethan, you're right. Plenty do. Ethan's letter started out just like any other fan mail. But soon there were mentions of things no little boy should know about. There are places that exist that very few people can see. Ethan could have drawn a map. I hadn't entered Red Creek Valley yet, but already I could feel its darkness reaching out for me. Finding Ethan Carter wasn't going to be as easy as knocking on his door. I was too late for that. To find Ethan, I had to figure out what this place was trying to hide from me.
So it's kind of like a whole second reality. So, like any good game, first thing I want to do when starting one way is walk the other and see what we're doing. Are we getting any closer or are we hitting a wall? Let's see, we will see if that's getting smaller. It is getting smaller, but I'm kind of noticing that it's getting darker too, spooky. This might be a somewhat spooky game. I think it is. Are we making progress or is it moving further away from us? We're making progress. It seems like it's fighting me though, every step of the way. No? Okay, so either way you go, you end up here. That's creepy. So when I swing back and forth, it's not feeling as smooth as possible. The graphics demand is high. We've got some very detailed textures going here. Let's see, interact, zoom, AB. What were the buttons on the controls? Zoom is left trigger. There we go. So when we look at this tree, you're seeing a lot of detail. Now, of course, I have everything turned way up. So I'm doing this to myself, but not having a super smooth experience. A little bit of leaves. So this narrative experience is not going to hold my hand. Looks like there was a split in the path there. A stump. No jump button, so while I probably could work my way up hills, I'm going to just assume that's not intended. Okay, that certainly gave me a jump scare. A trap. And I hold A to sense what? Holding A, and I can zoom in. Trap. Hold A. Well, while holding A, it doesn't seem like the right sticks or the control sticks are doing anything. So I'm not getting A. Well, if I crouch down and hold A. I must have to find other things. But that is scary. Could I have killed myself? It doesn't seem like I can. And from any angle, you just get this little circle right now, or it's at half of a circle. I'm not sure this is one of those games where you can die, like most games. I think this very well may be a game where the only way you can lose is by getting too afraid or too confused to continue playing. Another trap. Ah, so now we have two things together. So it's definitely not holding my hand, but we know what the puzzle is. We want to find more traps. These traps are pretty big traps and somewhat unique. Seem to be targeting either humans or large animals. We have railroad here. Looks like that might be something, but it's not. So the railroad goes that way. And this goes this way. I'm kind of afraid we'll wander too far and get away from the traps. But that might be this game too. You might have to find the next puzzle and start working on that before you find the final piece of the first puzzle. The vista looks very nice. The skybox is kind of, you can tell the difference, like back there. It's not getting rendered as much as the plants in front. Maybe a little bit more fog would have hidden that, because back when we're looking over here, you start seeing fog enough that you don't recognize it, but right there you can see, oh, those plants are just not getting rendered as well. But I bet once we get near them, they will get rendered better. Let's see. Would one more trap be all we needed? Or do we need two more traps? Apologies if me moving back and forth like this is giving people motion sickness. I'll try my best not to do that. Be as smooth on it as possible. Rocks. We cannot interact with the rocks. And a tree. We cannot interact with the tree. I think this game's gonna have pretty limited interaction. And then invisible walls, so I don't think we're gonna have situations where we just fall because we're being careless. Again, another nice vista. Very ambitious in the game creator to put everything in the forest. Nice looking like this. Nothing there. I thought that might be something. Usually, no trap, just wandered on it. We're almost there. I think we need one more to see whatever we're gonna see. I'm assuming what this is there's some kind of like Twilight Zone-esque situation going on, a phantom world, real world. Yeah, that's another trap. We're still short one. Perhaps what this is gonna show us, instead of showing us like a cutscene, I kind of am suspecting it might show us a specific tree or a specific thing we have to find. Let's see, JZ39133. I assume that's like a junction point or something. Although that wouldn't really make any sense, there's no junction point here. And then we have power lines coming through the tunnels. So I'm hearing sounds when we're near the things. If this does just point us to a specific tree, the question would then be, can you speed run this and just run to that tree if you know where it is and collect whatever collectible, if there is any collectible that would be there. This looks like you would be able to walk there, but actually no. That's the danger of doing a forest, because while you're decorating this area very much like a forest, it actually is just a set paths. He's not being terrible about level design. He's spreading things in multiple possible ways. But this is just one big area, and over there is another big area that I don't think we're quite ready to enter this section. We probably could just run that way, but I want to find this last trap. So we're wandering around looking for this trap. Obviously, this is evidence that I haven't played this game before, otherwise I would know where it is and not be wasting time taking in this pretty good looking art. It's very good looking. I'm developing a love-hate for good graphics in video games, or great graphics in video games might be more accurate. Because any game with great graphics usually doesn't have smooth movement. This is pretty smooth, but not perfectly smooth. And anything with smooth movement usually goes for a more cartoony-ish graphics system. Well, I think I'm gonna have to abandon my attempt here. I'm not seeing a final trap. and all the others felt like they were either pretty close to the pass or right on the pass. We were over here. We were over here. We walked this way. No traps. So I think we have to check out this bridge. We've been putting it off. Well, I've been putting it off. But, I mean, no more traps, it feels like. Bridge closed, do not enter. Well, alright. We'll ignore that. Here's something you never want to do, is look down while crossing a bridge. But I wouldn't want to cross a bridge like this at all. I'd just say nope. Send for a helicopter.
Red Creek Valley seemed like a quiet, ordinary place. I've learned two things in my life. No place is truly quiet, and nowhere is really ordinary. Ethan warned me about that. Warned me not to be fooled by what I saw here. He didn't need to worry. I'd worked dozens of cases, hundreds. This would be my last one.
So he's like some kind of supernatural private investigator? Question mark? I really can't feel like I missed a trap back there. I can't help but feel I missed a trap back there. I keep expecting the bridge to collapse and I won't be able to come back, but for this game that might not actually be the case. What a mess of electrical wires. I'm wondering if perhaps this is the only electricity that gets it in. And this tiny little ribbon is the thing stopping me, apparently, from crossing that. So, Ethan, I assume, got caught up in this whatever Twilight Zone type world and disappeared. It is confusing as how kids would know who this person is and was able to write letters to him. So we've got a card that we can inspect. Blood, animal, human, accident, murder, crankshaft, first scratches, recently used, crank, crank, crank. So do we want to find the crank somewhere? Oh, wait. Ah! Look at this. I think we are in a different puzzle, but seems like a unique mechanic to games. If we walk this way, we can find the crank. You can also enter here. Go ahead and turn it off, just to make sure it is off. Doesn't seem like there's anything we can do right now without the crank. have a railroad crossing road. And then this road leads to nowhere. This is literally a road to nowhere. If there was a road there, it's now been blocked by boulders. And the electricity stops right there. So maybe it was just to power this and that was it. That doesn't make any sense. Now it said crank somewhere this way, but we're gonna have to find it, I guess. It's not gonna be kind enough to constantly point to where we want it. So now we have a road and a railroad. JZ 3913393, and then some kind of rope. Cut ties. Untied. Tied. No blood. Rope. Alright, so do we leave the rope or do we pick up the rope? Guess we leave the rope. This looks like blood and legs. Rest of the corpse. Blood trail. Victim dragged away, crawled away. Severed legs. So it's just like all the thoughts going through the main character's head. Well, let's just follow the blood trail. We've gotten bloody, so this is gonna be a kind of horror-ish, scary game. Horror-ish. Blood from legs, blood from fractured skull, cause of death, blood loss, head trauma, touch. So we're not gonna get that whole story. Not yet. Destined, disturbed by third party, eroded by time. So yeah, it definitely feels like we have to now get more pieces of evidence. But it also definitely feels like we missed a trap somewhere back there. Unless there is a trap somewhere here. Ah, what's this? We can rotate and zoom in. Alright. It's a bloody rock. We can take the bloody rock. Now we have a bloody rock, which might be the murder weapon. What's this? Gasoline or diesel fuel? Carelessly dropped on purpose in a rush. A canister. And then what's this? Dried grass. No sun. Rectangle shape. The rail car from the bridge. Rail car. Ah. So now it's saying go back and look at the rail car. All day. We get our first full vision. Is it just zooming around the rail car, or is it going to show me something unique or interesting? Seems like you can just hold A here and look at it. So if somehow we walked right past that rail car and didn't see it, this is pointing to the direction. It's telling us we need to go. Probably inspect it again. We need to move the crankshaft, find the crank, and move it back to where it was when the murder occurred. I bet. That way we can recreate the scene. So, yeah, we've got a puzzle here we're gonna have to solve. And I guess we're gonna do that next recording. That's gonna be it for this recording. As always, I ask you to like, share, subscribe, comment if you want to, and watch every second of my videos. All that helps out. If you want to support me, you can click on my name, Rydo. That'll take you to my main YouTube page. On the right is a blue button that says support this channel. Click that, make a donation. The other thing you can do at my main YouTube page is click on my playlist tab and see all the playlists I have for all the other games I've covered. Also, down below in the description, I have social media links to things like Twitter, Facebook, Google+, Tumblr, Steam, and Battle.net, where you can follow and friend me on all those services, which would be very helpful, and it will let you know the exact minute that a new episode comes out. I release new videos every Monday through Friday, quite a lot of them, so subscribe and check those out. Thank you for watching. Have a good evening.